Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Trap Drop Podcast. Mayamo TC, joined by my esteemed colleague, the Pie Man. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing great. Guten Tag, TC. Good to be with you, my man. Just overwhelmed. We got so much to get to today. It's going to be a big one, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, good. I'm glad to have you here. It's been about a month, little over a month since you and I last chopped. Randy's in your great state of Wisconsin this week.
He's playing too much golf. Can't get him on the podcast because he's playing too much golf these days. It's crazy.
Uh, I think at this point, I got a couple texts from people last night. They were like, "Yo, is Big Randy at Sam Valley?" Big Randy is at Sam
I
Valley.
was getting those texts as well. That's Sand Valley is a it NLU fans hang out at Sand Valley. That is a meeting spot. There's a lot of every time I've been there, it's awesome. Everybody's always great. It's super nice, but there's a lot of listeners hanging out at Sand Valley. I think it's you know this as well as anybody. It's there's nowhere for Randy to hide. You know, the
No.
galloping ghost 6'8" comes swinging through one of those three meeting dining centers. It's like it's gonna be a feeding frenzy on Big Randy. Nowhere for him to hide. I saw
S-
Goodell last time I was there, and it's probably gonna be a similar
Wow,
situation of everyone just looking
Raj.
over and just be like, "Wow, that's Raj. Look at that. Just eating some cheese curds, having a moon man. Crazy."
Speaking of feeding frenzy, did you get the hamburger at that? Was it what's the place that
George
did the
Webb.
whole?
Yeah,
Yeah.
George Webb. Shout out to Mr. Jeezy, by the way, because I have a feeling
Oh,
we're gonna just be off and running here. So, uh, I did not, TC. I was out of town the day that it happened. So, for those that are not familiar, uh, George Webb is this local, I don't know, kind of a Steak and Shake esque uh, regional chain here in Milwaukee, and I had to do a little research on all the lore because I kept hearing people talk about it once we moved here. But it goes all the way back to 1965. This guy George Webb, who owned this chain of restaurants, made this prediction out of nowhere. This was back when they were the Milwaukee Braves. Said, "I think the Braves are going to win 12 games in a row this year." Just prediction, kind of a trap draw esque prediction,
won
and
12 games in a row more often.
yeah, they need to win 12 games in a row more often. He said, "I think they're gonna win 12 games in a row, and if they do, everybody in the city gets a free hamburger on me." And it didn't happen. The team goes away, becomes the Seattle Pilots. The Milwaukee Brewers started in 1970. He says, "We're keeping
Wait,
the Bre"
became the Seattle Pilots. Didn't they move to Atlanta?
or sorry, the Seattle Pilots, I'm sorry, become the Milwaukee Brewers. Confusing
Like,
my lore. That's an instant mea
I
culpa there.
think another mea culpa that we
Yeah,
just
yeah.
got ahead of.
Yeah,
We're
that's
we're
good.
cleaning this shit up in real time.
That's good thinking. The wet dry vac out immediately. But the Brewers come to town in 1970. He says we're going to keep the prediction going. I think this is the year they're going to win 12 in a row. It doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen until like 1987, I believe, when they win the first 13 games of the year. And so George Webb is out like something like 100,000 burgers. Like it's just mayhem.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen again because he keeps it going. He's like, "This was awesome. Keep it going. I think it's gonna happen next year." And it doesn't happen again until 2018 and I think that streak like included some of the NLCS and so just electric times
D
in
Does it
Milwaukee, I
have
would
to be
imagine.
in 1 season, or can it be over the
It's a
span of
good
2
question.
seasons?
I don't know the answer to that.
Some T's and C's there, you know?
Yeah, I would think since they were cool going from regular season to the playoffs, I gotta think that, I mean, if it went from season to season, that would mean that they won the World Series.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, I think everybody's kind of, high times. I'm sure he'd be fine with that. Anyways, TC, the point of all of this is that the Brewers had actually 2 11-game winning streaks this year. It got to the 12th game the first time, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, George Webb, here we go, burgers." And they lost the 12th game, 1-0 pitcher's duel against your Mariners, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly.
My Mariners. Yeah, actually, I am a Mariners fan. I forgot that.
And then famously, this 14-game winning streak, they got it over the hump. So there were free burgers. The way it works, everybody's like, "Oh, so you just wait for the last pitch and then just drive to George Webb?" It's like, no, no, no. They don't have just like 100,000 some burgers sitting around just in
They're not
case it happens.
staffed for this. They're not
Yeah.
supplied for this.
So they set a date, a couple weeks down the line where
Yeah.
everybody comes in and you can either get a voucher for a free burger later or you can just wait in line and get a burger that day. But long story short, TC, I was not in town. I was out
Mm,
and missed it, which was unfortunate, but I hope everybody
yeah.
had a good time. I don't know how many
Well,
they actually gave away. I should look into that.
I'd be remiss if I didn't compliment you on your Brewers Hot Dog Club hat.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous. It's
I know,
gorgeous.
it's kind of, I've been not a great club member, recently. It's been a little tough to get to games lately, but I need to, maybe I might go to one of these Phillies games this week. We'll see.
Okay. Well, we thanked Mr. Jeezy. Other housekeeping. I gotta wish Sister Jean a belated 106th birthday.
She continues
Uh,
to stunt on you.
yeah, she
Yeah.
does. She does. And then BX the Plug is out of jail
Mm.
down in Dallas. I'm not super familiar with his work, but that came across my desk, and I just wanted to.
Was that like, served his time, or was that case was thrown out situation?
It's who knows. I
Yeah,
just saw it on like there's this Dallas news account that I follow that mainly like Cody got me into it. Like they always post the car fires that seem to
yeah.
happen down there on the side of the highway a lot. So, Deej, gotta thank our title sponsor of the trap draw, as well as get into any mea culpas here. We don't have too many. We've got a couple of big ones.
Y
So, ServPro, number one brand in cleanup and restoration, known for making any mess like it never even happened. Over 2,200 locations nationwide. They're faster to any size disaster. Visit servpro.com or call 1-800-ServPro today. And listen, I got to call on ServPro to help me with this beer rock
Yeah,
disaster.
I tried to look into this myself, TC, and I don't I wish I could be more help. I think this might be a road you need to walk alone here, and I hope that anybody who understands how this is pronounced can shepherd you along.
Yeah, so this came about due to the we were talking what Runza
Yeah.
after the Nebraska trip, and it's the I guess these things are more like a beer rock. As Ben said, they pronounce it in Wichita Burrock more,
Mhm.
but it's like a Volga German, Eastern European kind of almost like a hot pocket,
It's like a giant
right?
pierogi sort
Yeah,
of
yeah.
situation. Yeah.
So you got some minced meat in there and that sort of thing. So anyway, I called it a Byrock. That was obviously incorrect. So I apologize for that. One thing I'm not going to apologize for, Poosh, is Naomi Osaka is on a run right now at the U.S. Open, and which she should have been on a run 3 years ago, right? She's been in a complete funk for the last few years, and woe is me, and all this stuff, and she made Coco Gauff get up with her to do the post game interview where Naomi a couple of years ago was saying it's inhumane to make people do interviews after losses. So she must have changed her tune on that. But in any case, I am not apologizing. I need to see a championship win from Naomi Osaka as well as sustained success. Like this is who she's supposed to be as an elite tennis player. So Poosh, you will not be getting a mea culpa. And then Deej, I just need you to address the whole quick trip
Yeah,
thing
this
from
is
last month.
occasionally you get going on these pods and your mouth gets a little ahead of your brain, and I think that's what happened on this quick trip situation. I was extolling the virtues of, this great regional gas station chain that we have here in Wisconsin, and I totally omitted to hundreds and hundreds of locations northwest of our borders up in Minnesota. Part of this is I haven't been to Minnesota in a very long time. Part of this I think was just like I just wasn't familiar with, this rapid kind of expansion. I tricked myself into thinking I know more about Minnesota than I
Mhm.
do because we spent a lot of childhood holidays there. Both my parents are from Minnesota, and I just haven't updated my records really since I was about 10 years old, 12 years old. So,
Okay.
that's on me, and I do apologize for omitting all of the quick trips in Minnesota because it sounds like there's a great deal of them up there.
I think 2026, you need to make a concerted effort, a goal maybe, to get
Couldn't
up to
agree more.
Minnesota.
Couldn't agree with you more. A lot of things to do up there that
Yeah.
I would really enjoy. Maybe just even a road trip, kind of a 2, 3, 4-day road trip sort of thing would
Yeah.
be great. Go to the
Go up for
Twin
a Twins
Cities.
game.
Exactly. Go up north, see Duluth. Haven't been to Duluth since I was a
I
kid.
think Duluth's great.
I
I
know
love
it
Duluth.
would just there's no reason not to, TC. I think that's a great idea.
Okay. You know what's not a great idea, Deej? We're gonna go into some monitoring and news items here. And what's not a great idea is banging your direct report who
Yeah.
works in marketing. And that's what the Nestle CEO is doing. We got a lot of
God, this just seems
moving
so
parts.
avoidable.
Yeah, he got outed after a call to the employee hotline. I think this guy had only been in in the job for year and a half. So, lot of corporate machinations going on in just the coffee and large scale industrial food business in general, which, speaking of Minnesota, that's, kind of a hub for that sort of thing,
Right?
generally speaking. But yeah, where do you stand on this Nestle CEO?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the heart wants what it wants, I suppose. So I'm sympathetic to that, but I just, the power dynamics, the CEO, it's just you got to be. Come on, man, we got to keep it above board. That's kind of rule number one. I think that seems like kind of the heart disease of taking down these CEOs. It's like it's a big one, man. You know about this on day one. Just don't do this. You gotta be better than that. I loved I was reading some literature on this. I loved this quote. This was from Ingo Spike, I believe. Speich. Speich, head of corporate governance and sustainability at DECA, which is a top 30 Nestle investor. I thought this just bottom lined at TC, and if someone put this on my desk, I'd be pretty overwhelmed. The new CEO needs to fix the business model, bring volumes back. He needs to do better M&A and focus more on emerging markets. That's a big. I just feel like that's a big ask. Like I don't know how do you
Yeah.
break that thing down into parts. No wonder
I
the
mean,
guy was
maybe the new
stressed out.
CEO just needs to stop banging
Sure, that'd be number
direct reports.
number
Yeah.
1 for sure. And then you kind of alluded to it, but
Maybe too much M&A, if you know what I mean.
it's possible. It's possible. And then you mentioned this, but yeah, Pete's, your beloved Pete's Coffee. I know you're a big Pete's guy up
I
in
used to
Boston.
be in
Yeah,
Boston. They just had a great space in Beacon Hill that's since closed, I think. But yeah, Pete's. I didn't even know that Keurig and Dr.
no
Pepper were
idea.
tied
I'm
up
just
as
learning this.
well. And
Well,
then
although
Kraft and Heinz are pulling apart, I
Well,
guess.
and Keurig and Dr. Pepper are pulling apart as well,
Oh, they are?
due to this
Okay.
due to this Pete's acquisition, an $18 billion acquisition of Pete's. They're gonna break themselves into 2, one company selling coffee and the other company selling cold beverages like Snapple. I forgot about Snapple. Dr. Pepper, 7 Up, and energy drinks. So kind of
What a
a hot
novel
a
concept.
hot company and a cold company. I thought was I kinda like that. Maybe we didn't need to be one company in the first place. Maybe there needs to be more than 6 companies in the world, but that's another topic for another day.
Uh, it's like the wets and the dries in
Exactly.
down in Australia.
Yeah, the hots and the colds. So we'll
Yeah.
continue to monitor the hots and the colds.
The Kroger CEO, I don't know what to do with this. This came across my desk where, if you remember correctly, the Kroger CEO got canned. Had been there, like, he'd worked his way up from I think a shelf stalker up to, CEO over the last 30 years or so. He got fired in kind of mysterious circumstances. And there's this lawsuit percolating that involves the singer Jewel.
See, when I saw this, you said there was a Jewel wrinkle. I just assumed that was Jewel Osco, like the other
Oh,
grocery store, but no, apparently not. That's the singer
yeah,
Jewel.
yeah. So this is from CNN. A lawsuit involving Kroger and singer Jewel could shed light on why the former supermarket CEO mysteriously resigned.
Wow.
This Rodney McMullen guy had joined Kroger in 1978 and left after an internal investigation into his personal conduct. And Kroger's been, absolutely killing it the last year plus as far as stock prices and all of that. But he's tried to bar questioning on the quote embarrassing topic that like led to his resignation. So
Wonder if he was
no
playing some
idea.
foolish games, TC. Kinda sounds
Oh
like it.
man, that got me good. And Jewel was, I guess she had been involved with these wellness festivals that they were, and these wellness festivals weren't going well. And I think they were retail sponsored, or retail, like Kroger was one of the sponsors of these wellness festivals. So Partnership was from 2018 to 2021. She performed a total of 12 times and participated in 45 panels at these events.
Huh.
After the festivals became profitable, Kroger replaced Drinkwater and became one of the sponsors. And then it seemed like there was something, some sort of mysterious circumstance involving Rodney McMullen and Jewel.
Sounds like a
So
lot of smoke there.
yeah,
We gotta continue to keep an eye on that. I am pro Jewel. I do wanna get that on the record. So I hope there's not too much malfeasance going
is
on here.
Jewel still married to Clipboard Jesus?
That's a good question. What was that guy's name?
Charlie
Charlie
Whitehurst.
Whitehurst?
Yeah.
I I don't know if she was ever married to him.
Okay.
I'm s I'm seeing on her according to her Wikipedia page, she was married to someone named Ty Monroe Murray, an American former professional rodeo cowboy, but
Okay.
they went their separate ways in 2014.
Okay. It looked like 2016 Jewel and Whitehurst. They called it quits in 2017 though.
Okay. So
And
this was
then she started dating Kevin
post-divorce.
Costner, it looks like in 2023. But
Wow,
uh Jewel went country a long time ago.
for sure.
We can meet her on that.
New kind of boots. The
Um
whole world's gone country, TC.
Truly. We'll get there. We'll get there. Believe me. What else? We got some municipal malfeasance. The mayor of New Orleans was indicted after covering up a relationship with a police officer assigned to protect her. Uh,
Yeah.
Not great. But the
Yeah,
heart wants what the heart wants.
yeah, emotional situation, I'm sure, with
Speaking
the
of Kevin Costner, kind of
exactly,
a Whitney Houston
exactly.
situation there.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna have to look more into that one. I'm gonna reserve judgment until I get more facts there.
And then, this is our Eric Adams segment. More Eric Adams cronies are facing corruption charges, just kind of rank and file, garden variety city corruption there. Uh, but I got a big kick out of the cash in the potato chip bag. It was like what, a month and a half ago. Big
Yeah,
story all over the socials.
this was a really good one. It was, just one of his former campaign aides, or it was a former, I think, like, what was it, like, his, like, liaison with the Asian American committee or something like that. Uh, Winnie Greco was her name, former director of Asian affairs at City Hall. And yeah, she got clipped for handing a reporter a potato chip bag with some cash in it. Did you read how much cash was in the bag?
No.
So steel yourself here, because I assumed it would be like 20 grand or something. It was $100. And that's
And
where
then
I'm
Greco tried to say like, "Hey, this is
yeah.
very much a customary thing."
This was from Greco's lawyer Stephen Brill, the great man Stephen Brill.
For real.
Said it's common in Chinese culture to give cash to reporters, quote, "in a gesture of friendship and gratitude." And I'm curious, this is almost like a, which what's the threshold for malfeasance here? Because if someone's like, "Oh man, hey man, here's you look like you could use a let me buy you lunch. Here's $20."
Yeah.
Is that okay? Is that you know
It's a good
high
question.
level government cronyism and malfeasance? I don't know. Where does $100 fall on that threshold? Because
Why
once I read that, I was like, "Well, shit, this feels like a
why
little
put it in a
different story."
potato chip bag?
Sure, and you're clearly trying to hide something, which
Hide
maybe
it.
tells the whole
Yeah.
story. But
You
yeah, I
could do
just
$100 handshake even.
right, even a greeting card. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
grateful for your friendship and here you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the hard work you do keeping holding us to account. Here's
Yeah.
$100. Go, get some Amazon stuff. I don't
Did
know.
you see the video? It was floating around on the gram and on TikTok, which I'm not on TikTok, but someone sent it to me. Some rich kid accosting him at a restaurant.
Yeah, I hate to tell you this, TC, but I think this might have been an activation.
Oh,
I think that's kind of this guy's
God,
I think that's kind of this guy's shtick is, just
damn it.
kinda going around and being like an insufferable, caricature, and, so I think Mayor
I think
Adams might
EA
have been an
handled it well.
well, I think
Oh,
he
he was
might
in
have
the
been an
know.
accomplice maybe, or I don't know. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it seems like there's smoke here. I don't think this was as it
Okay.
seemed,
I
or as it
got
was
you.
packaged. What'd you think
And then
about the bench
lastly,
what'd you think about the bench press situation?
I thought it was awesome. He put Mom Donnie in a body bag on the bench press. He was throwing up weight. Was he not?
No, he
Are you thinking
was, he was. I just am trying to really suss out how what that means,
it's
you
the
know? I
mayor?
don't
It's like a mayoral combine.
yeah, it's I don't think it should be your single issue, if you're voting on these things. I don't think who can bench press more should be your only issue. But I also don't think it's nothing, I don't think it's
Yeah.
like, I think it needs to be I think it needs to be a very, very, very small piece of the calculus,
I
right?
think
And
it's a window into EA's whole thing, right? He's disciplined. He's got a great routine, as we know.
yeah. And again, that can be outweighed certainly by other more important things, but yeah, I don't think it's nothing. It's hard to unsee,
Yeah,
him throwing weight around.
exactly.
It's impressive. It's impressive.
Uh, what else we got? The FDA is warning the public not to eat possibly radioactive shrimp sold at Walmart.
Yeah, I'm always kind of suspect of shrimp
I am too.
in general.
I'm like
That's
a big shrimp guy, and I'm also very picky on who and where I get my shrimp from.
I'm
We have
nervous.
great shrimp here in Jack's,
Yeah,
Mayport shrimp, but shrimp are bottom feeders, so I feel
yeah.
like
I'm always
you gotta
nervous to cook it. I'm nervous to eat it. It's gotta be the right situation. I love it when the stars align, but I've just been burned a couple times.
it drives me nuts here in town where you go to any number of grocery stores or markets and they're flying in shrimp from Argentina or Thailand or other places. We have some of the best shrimp in the world a
It's a bit
mile
like
off the coast here, Mayport shrimp.
it's a bit like that, oyster situation you guys were talking about a couple weeks ago. Or was that crabs or oh, it was crabs.
Crabs in
Yeah,
Baltimore.
not
Yeah,
oysters, yeah.
yeah. Well, no, there was a big oyster situation. People are dying of I don't know if it was flesh eating or brain eating bacteria infections. And I don't really eat a lot of Gulf oysters. I eat more the East Coast and then I love the Kumamoto oysters from up in BC, northern Washington area. But yeah, you got to watch out, especially this time of year. The whole don't eat oysters in months ending in R thing is kind of
Is that a
bullshit.
rule?
Oh yeah, that's a
I'm not an
huge
oyster guy,
rule.
so I don't know.
Or no, it's don't eat oysters in months that don't end in
It's
R.
gotta be your rule.
Exactly. Anyway, you saw Jenny's ice cream at Wrigley,
I just thought
which
that was
was
interesting.
so fitting.
I
Yeah,
don't have a huge dog in the fight. This is an Ohio, Cincinnati, sort of Columbus thing, but the Jennies versus Graders, I've taken a casual kind of spectator interest in it. And yeah, just I tend to come down much more on the side of Graders,
yeah,
kind of proper like ice cream, and Jenny's just always has looked a little too cute to
yeah.
me. And seeing it sold at the friendly confines I thought was pretty fitting. So I just wanted to pass
Very
that
on the
along.
nose. Yeah. Where do you fall out on the whole Cracker
No,
Barrel?
TC, where do you fall out on the whole Cracker
You know
Barrel?
where I fall out. I think the rebrand is bullshit. It's a Miami alum, the CEO, ex Starbucks, ex Taco Bell. The Starbucks CEO is a Miami alum as well. I didn't know there was such a pipeline to these
That's what I was gonna
fast
say.
food
Yeah.
restaurants. I guess the Starbucks CEO, they're hoping he's going to help us build a new basketball arena. But
Mm.
no, I thought the renovations at these uh, locations are bullshit. I thought the rebrand was bullshit. And listen, like it. I know it turned into a whole MAGA left versus right thing. I don't think it needed to be that. I think it's just like some things you just need to leave them be, right? And Cracker Barrel is an institution, and as someone who is very, pro Cracker Barrel, I've been to pretty much every one along I-75. They may have added new ones. I've been to most of the ones along I-95 at this point between here and North Carolina as well. It's just you don't need to mess with an institution like that.
So Oh, why did they do it? Was there any
I think
explanation
Cracker Barrel's
given?
had a identity crisis over the last however long. Margins have suffered, food costs are up, labor costs are up, all that. I think they've struggled to figure out, all right, are we gonna compete on price or are we gonna compete on quality? At the end of the day, I think they probably need to compete on quality, but the consumer isn't doing great either. So that's part of it. But I think I don't know, they gotta lean into what their identity is, right? And I feel like they're trying to forge a new identity, which sucks.
Yeah, but I guess my point is I don't think they're doing that for fun, right? Like, they're trying to do that as that seems like it must
Yeah.
come from somewhere, I'm guessing it's not coming from, "Let's
Well,
go let's go woke and piss all these
yeah,
people off."
you go woke, go broke, right, Deej? I think the Solly's saying that Cracker Barrel is just gonna turn into a giant set of charging stations for electric vehicles along the interstates. He sent that along. That's his hypothesis, and he's aligned with other, Instagram influencers who feel the same way. All I know is, like, they have some of the best corn I've ever had. It has the juice.
The juice, yeah, lumps with knobs.
It's a big lump with knobs.
Uh,
The chicken and dumplings is awesome. Their fried chicken's awesome. Their special today is awesome. Their old country store is awesome.
can
It's
you
that's the DNA.
yeah, it it's an interesting one. I don't know, man, I just can't imagine God, I can't imagine waking up after something as innocuous as this and just the president's talking about you and everybody's boycotting, and it's just like, God, there's just some times where all these graphs just kinda line up to these perfect nexuses of, like, this company's gonna be the main character for a while. I'm turning my ire and my energy on
Fuck
fuck
those
Cracker
guys.
Barrel. And that just God, what a phenomenon to just see happening over and over and over, and I gotta imagine if you're working in corporate marketing or something, like, you're just trying so hard to just keep your head down constantly. What a
People
nightmare.
people tried to cancel my Uncle Juice, and then they tried to cancel I don't even know his name, but the other uncle guy from
Yeah,
Cracker
you know
Barrel.
what? I just saw this. It was Uncle Crack no, not Uncle Cracker. It's a totally different guy. Uncle Herschel.
Uncle
TC was
Herschel.
the soul of Cracker Barrel is what they're calling him.
Still is the soul of Cracker Barrel,
Well,
or
now he's
was.
back. Yeah, he was
Still is.
temporarily not the soul, and then now it sounds like he's back, so
Yeah.
the yeah, I can't
I
really
mean, one could say Cracker Barrel's gone country again.
well, and yeah, now that the boycott's over,
Yeah.
they've returned country.
Do you think that this was a planned
Is that what people
fiasco?
are saying? Like, this is a
That was a conspiracy theory.
I don't think so. I don't know. That just doesn't God, that seems a little too clever.
Got people talking about Cracker Barrel again,
I think
you
the
know?
only people that have more time on their hands than the people pissed off about Cracker Barrel are the people thinking it's a conspiracy, that Cracker Barrel is going through here. That might be a little too alert for me.
DJ, I was pretty disappointed. This was breaking across the wire last night or 2 nights ago. You slid into the Slack. You were shitting all over Dan Campbell for
Yeah.
for, being a spokesperson for Applebee's.
Yeah, a couple things here, TC, because I don't think this came off great and certainly not as I intended because I am pro Applebee's. I used to live in Maitland, Florida, where there was an
Yeah,
Applebee's right down walking distance from our apartment.
yeah.
My wife and I would go down there in the evenings, 2 for 1 beers and apps, I like what Applebee's is about. I've been there hundreds of times, I would
If you
say.
had to power rank Applebee's, Ruby Tuesday, which used to slap
Used to.
back in the day, and
Chili's.
Chili's, how are
Are we
you power
saying,
ranking
like,
those?
2025? Like, on September
I'm saying
3rd,
like 20. I'm
2025,
saying
or are you
like
saying, like,
saying
2006?
like 2006.
Yeah, at the peak of their powers, I probably would go honestly, I'd probably go Ruby Tuesday first, and then I would go Applebee's, and then I would go Chili's, and now I think that ranking is completely flipped, is what I would say.
Alex, there's a Chili's right by us, and I don't. It's gone way downhill. Their chips and salsa is still fire.
I went to
They have
that
the
Chili's
they have the
twice in one day
thinnest.
one time.
Really?
Yeah,
My aunt
me and Big Play Ray.
I have an aunt who went to Chili's in Sarasota. I think she went 5 or 6 days a week for years at a time, to the point where the Chili's was, like, giving her Southwest Airlines gift cards, and then she went to the cheese, and she just liked their iced tea and their chips and salsa. She would go every day, and then she started going to Cheesecake Factory, same thing. She would
I
go
I'm f
every day for years,
I'm
for a
for it.
decade.
I'm for it.
Yeah,
I think was
yeah.
she, like, sit at the bar or what? Just hang
I
out?
think I don't know, she had a favorite table, favorite server, and that
I
was her
like it.
routine. I respect it.
3rd
Yeah,
space, man, you know?
yeah. Well, back to the Dan Campbell thing,
Yeah,
because you
so
attacked
yeah,
Neil,
yeah. No,
'cause Neil's a big Dan Campbell
I
guy.
lightly attacked Neil. Attack is such a strong, loaded word. I said something like, I'm paraphrasing myself. I said, I hope Neil is held to account on the next ball knowers, junior ball knower Neil is held to account for these Dan Campbell Applebee's commercials. And what I meant by that is like this guy's a professional football coach in the NFL. Is beloved, is seemingly beloved by his
He
players,
is.
seemingly like puts his heart and soul into every game plan, into every season.
Mhm.
Like he just seems like he's got a lot going on. And that's I'm like, why are you doing fucking Applebee's commercials? I gotta think you're making ends meet as an NFL coach. I just thought it was a little
Maybe he
low.
likes Applebee's.
I thought it was a little low rent was kind of what I was kind of what my takeaway was. But then I thought about it more and I reflected after you guys pushed back, and I'm like, I do, I kind of like Applebee's. Maybe it is just I stand behind that product and I wanna endorse it situation. So I don't really know where I fall out. You guys kinda shook me up a little bit.
What if Dan Campbell became the new Uncle Herschel?
That's interesting. Maybe Applebee's should rebrand with, a
Yeah,
guy standing outside their store, just calling
yeah.
plays.
Speaking of Chili's, there's a Chili's at the Jax Airport.
Yeah,
That's
sort of.
eh, no, they're they
Oh, actually,
they
they redid it. I haven't been there
they
in
redid it,
years.
and the
Yeah, that's right.
ladies who work that location absolutely run shit. They are the most competent employees in the entire airport. It's
Oh,
crazy.
that's
It's
phenomenal.
it's these 4 or 5 ladies, and they handle their business in there, and it's great. It's like, I think it's one of the best Chili's locations I've been to ever.
God, I love hearing
So,
that. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. Which, because yeah, normally you get the HMS Host or the
Yeah.
Delaware North or whatever, and it's a
It's usually pretty
disaster,
bleak. The
but
one in Milwaukee, there's a fake Chili's at the Milwaukee airport
yeah.
that's quite a bleak scene.
There was that really good little,
The brat
it was
place.
hot dog, yeah, the brat place.
That
That
place
place
is
was
great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's thank a sponsor. Let's thank Rhoback. I mean, I don't have to tell you, Deej. It's officially peak polo season. We're getting into almost peak long sleeve polo
Oh, yeah.
season
Long sleeve
here.
polos, obviously the lightweight hoodies. That's what
Yeah.
I will be beating up over the next 2 months here in Wisconsin. A little bit of a shorts and a light hoodie, I
A
mean,
long
that's
one way.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
as good as it gets, and check it out, Rhoback has both of those. They got the shorts and they got the hoodie. They got the long
They
sleeve
do.
polos, they got the workout shirts, they've got everything you need
The
to
Delta Looper shorts. Yeah.
of course, squeeze those last couple rounds of summer out with some Delta Looper shorts.
I love their workout shorts.
They're great.
They're awesome. They're like the perfect length. I think they're about 7, or probably a 6 or 7-inch inseam. Pretty short, which is big with the youth right now,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make me look, they're not too short. Really, really like those. You can go to rhoback.com, RHOBACK.com. You can use code TRAP for 20% off your first order through the end of the week. Polos, hoodies, shorts, whatever you need. Rhoback's got you covered, and they're building out their ladies line
Yeah.
quite a bit too. I've been impressed on that front.
Seems like a sleeping giant there. You
Yeah.
that a lot of room to run there.
Couple other things. The Google decision came down. We can cover that on a future one. Judge was super light on Google. They don't have to really divest Chrome or any of the draconian, like, breakup Google stuff that we thought was going to happen. Did you see this story about the nuclear reactor on
I
the moon?
I did. I did. I appreciate you sending this over. And I think where I net out on this TC is that I'm for it. but
Okay.
I wanna disclose that I've only thought about it for about 4 or 5 minutes,
Okay.
right? So I hope that there's some people putting more thought into it and what putting a nuclear reactor on the moon leads to and what goes into that. I know it's a bit of a land grab right now. It sounds like maybe the Chinese and the Russians have some similar plans. I saw a quote that we want to avoid them establishing a keep out zone on the moon. I understand also that, solar power not really possible on the moon because you're just going through 2 weeks of darkness.
Huh.
2 weeks of sunlight,
Yeah.
2 weeks of darkness. Tough to store enough voltage, so you kind of got to go with a nuclear option, so to
Okay.
speak. But yeah, I hope there's a plan for kind of what we're doing on the moon. I
Just
don't.
space generally
Yeah, I saw
too. Yeah.
a lot of national, international, intergalactic safety concerns.
Yeah.
Uh, and so yeah, I hope there's some smart people working on this. But after my 4 or 5 minutes of thinking, I am pro nuclear reactor on the moon.
Okay. A lot of things going on down here on Earth too. The power went out
That
on Gotland.
Yeah, that's no yeah, for sure. And that's where I'm like, man, it's almost like, do we wait until, we kinda got some things buttoned up a little better down here, or are people just on to the next shiny object? In this case,
I
just
think we gotta do both.
moving
We gotta do
people to
both,
to space. Yeah.
the Russians, I think they cut the power to Gotland. You
Ugh.
got all sorts of GPS jamming going on in Northern Europe. You've got, what's going on down in Venezuela? A lot of off the coast there, we've got a whole armada of Navy ships down there. There's rumors we're trying to overthrow Maduro and all of that. We've got shit's popping off in Colombia. That's, in the restive areas of that. The FARC never really truly went away. So you had a car bomb a couple weeks ago. You had an attack on a police helicopter. A couple dozen casualties there. Just a lot of stuff there. What else? You had the German shopping cart return championships. I don't know if you saw it. That was
No, I
taking
miss these.
the Everything app by storm.
Yeah, I miss
Y
these, but I am, I mean, easy low hanging fruit take here, but I'm pro returning your shopping cart
yes.
to the holder. I mean, I think that's kind of a telltale sign of a breaking down, crumbling society. It's when people can't really be bothered to do things like that.
Do you subscribe to Cartnarks? Are you familiar with
I'm
Cartnarks?
familiar. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
familiar. I don't know that I follow every post, but I am, I'm up on the idea, and I
Uh,
support their work that they're doing.
there's 3 additional giraffe species that they
Yeah,
figured out. Not really new, but they just figured out, "Hey, there's these species out there that we didn't even consider."
I love that.
So,
I think more
it's
specificity is good.
yeah. The Swedes are moving this big ass church in Kiruna up north. Our friend Phil sent that over. Just thought that was interesting
So
monitoring that.
they're, like, picking it up and moving it?
Yeah, yeah, massive church, like cathedral.
That's wild.
So,
That's
yeah.
anytime you're moving any build I kinda need to, I'm sure these, exist, but I would love to watch a YouTube video, a documentary, something about just, like, how you pick up a building and move it.
Mhm.
That's a pretty wild concept to me. There's a lighthouse near my house that was just like, it used to be down on the shore, and then they just picked it up, and now it's here. I'm like, "Huh, but what
Oh, speaking of
was that
lighthouses,
actually
did you
like?"
watch that thing I sent over the BBC
No, but
thing I sent over?
no, I saw that you sent it, and I had not gotten to it yet.
Okay.
Good
We'll
stuff?
talk about that on the next one. Yeah, like the BBC, like the historical BBC vignettes that they put up, or little kind of mini docs that they put up on that account are fantastic.
You ever see the movie The
Is
Lighthouse?
no, I'm not.
Crazy. It's a good one.
Okay.
Intense.
Speaking of movies, I have not watched any of the movies you sent over yet. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You got a lot going
I
on.
did watch the Cowboys documentary,
What'd you
which
think of
was
that? I saw Ballnoer Sturm a couple weeks ago, and he was a little like, "This is gonna rock some people's worlds." He was very, very, in on it.
yeah, I think Balnor Bob put it on same echelon as The Last Dance, like
Wow.
that good. And because I kind of heat checked it. I said, "Hey, I'm not getting out of my skis and saying that this is really good, right?" He's like, "No, like there's some Jerry glazing, too much Jerry glazing here, but overall, it's exceptionally well done." And the interviews and the fact that they were able to get everybody to sit down and the playmaker. I mean, Michael Irvin is absolutely electric in it.
God, I
Love that
laughed
man.
so hard at, the Creator Classic podcast. Roger was gonna make Solly do that "Welcome to Brazil," uh, glitter glitter video. I just Roger's impression of Michael Irvin, I think, is gonna be one of the most underrated moments of the year, I believe.
Let's see here. We've got I put this guy's a savage. I can't remember what this
This was the
was.
guy that was climbing all the
Oh
mountains.
yeah, this is the French guy that's
Yeah.
climbing. He's gonna climb all of the tallest peaks in North America in under a month. And he just he runs like ultra marathons. He's gonna do like how many peaks are there here? 60. All 60 peaks in in the contiguous United States with an elevation over 14,000 feet
Wait, he's doing 60 of them in a month?
in a month. You
Jesus.
got to read the piece. It's in the New York
Yeah, I just
Times
pulled it
by
open.
Scott Cacciola. It's excellent. He's just this guy's a complete menace.
Killian Jornet. Huh. 37 years old.
Yeah. And on top of that, he's gonna walk, run, or bike between all of them.
Oh, that's notable.
Yeah.
Jeez. So he's got a bike
So
between uh, God, I mean, he's got a basically bike from Colorado to California, and then from
and then up
California
to
to
yeah,
Washington. That's
yeah,
tough that he's gotta get from Mount
Mount
Whitney
Whitney
up to Mount Shasta, up to Mount
up to
Rainier. Like, that's a
yeah,
tough one where it's like you gotta go an extra 400 miles, 500 miles to climb one more when you've already knocked out, however many.
yeah.
That's a
This guy
lot.
runs ultra marathons, eats pieces of shit like they have
Yeah.
for breakfast,
So you think this guy's
So,
just, I mean, not to pry, but you think this guy just on scholarship with a bunch of brands? How's
I think
he,
so.
how's he, people are just like, brands are just like, people are gonna write about this guy and let's make sure he's wearing our stuff and wearing our shoes.
Yeah, I think he's
And then
just
he
an
just kinda is like a explorer at large because that it seems like a
elite
cool, what
elite
a
athlete.
lifestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah, people just kinda
yeah.
pay him to just be just an elite athlete. It's not like
Like,
he's
"Hey, I'm
playing for
gonna
a
do a
team, you know?
speed record
Yeah,
here," or yeah, yeah.
yeah, well,
It's truly, truly wild, and, like, and there's a quote in here, "I've never done that much biking."
yeah,
He's just
I was
gonna
gonna
figure it out.
just figure it out.
Yeah.
Holy
So,
smokes. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm looking
Re
forward to reading this.
Okay.
What a stud.
Yeah. You got a couple airports things. 52 pounds of monkey meat were found in some luggage at Detroit airport.
Any context on that?
I didn't really dig into it too much. This was, it was found by Border Protection. It's bushmeat is considered a cultural delicacy in some parts of Africa.
Hmm.
I don't know where flight. It was the guy was coming from Togo in West Africa.
Yeah, that's a tough one to transport via just the checked luggage. I don't know if we could be doing that.
It's allegedly it tastes
Hmm.
like horse meat. So, what else we got on that front? United and Delta are getting sued
I
for
really liked
selling
this.
window seats
Yeah.
that don't have windows. I've had that happen to
For
me a
sure.
couple
It's
times.
awful. Awful. I mean, they're it's
Wouldn't wish that on
yeah,
anyone.
exactly, exactly. I'm glad that, there's some lawsuits where we're just gumming up the system, but I think this is one that I'll be following the
Yeah,
outcome closely.
yeah. American continues to pull screens off of some of their planes. Meanwhile, at DFW, most flight delays of any airport in the country, according to a recent report. And our friend of the program, Wes Durham, voice of the Falcons, he got by
Ah,
American Airlines recently. So hated seeing that as well.
thoughts thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Wish him the best.
Deej, the big news in my world here has been, and really Randy's world, the commish came back into our lives.
For I'm sure everybody's up on this, but for anybody who may have missed, who the commish is, what the deal is here, maybe just a quick explainer.
Yeah, commish, one of our best friends. He was in my wedding. Lived with him in college buddy. He was an associate he worked at Jimmy John's the pizza company next door to Jimmy John's in Oxford. Worked for a subsidiary of Goldman Sachs for a while.
He was
Worked
a
at the Kroger Deli for a while.
he was an associate of Dokes as well,
Yeah, he was associate of Dokes,
as
the
a
Rawls.
cart boy at the Rawls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
while he was in, getting some prereqs done for pre-dental school, and then I can't even remember how long ago it was. I mean,
Years.
Randy, THG, and I, we would text constantly. We were on this thread, the Security Council thread, and we texted constantly for. I talked to him more than I talked to anybody else in the world. And then one day he just fired us as friends. He just like he left the thread. He left our fantasy football league, no explanation, and we didn't talk to him for like 5 years. So the other night, we're on our fantasy football auction. We're on the
This is not for
Google
lack of
Meet.
trying. I mean, you guys are trying to add him back. You're trying to reach out. It's just
Yeah, but
he
I've
doesn't
never
want anything
like
to do
just
with it.
called him and said, "Hey, man, what's up?" Because I wanted to respect. He made a decision. I wanted to respect his space, and we would hear updates every you know 12 to 18 months of, "Hey, the commish popped up here," or
It's kind of like a
"He's here now."
Anthony Kim
Yeah,
situation.
truly.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest approximation. And he just showed up the other night. THG invited him to our fantasy football auction, and he shows up and he just shows up like nothing ever happened. And he's got his face halfway out of frame on it, kinda like Wilson in Home Improvement. So he's like just kind of sitting there like half face in, half face out if you're watching on our YouTube feed. And it was like the dad who it was like Randy or I got drafted number 1 in the NBA draft, and our dad that we hadn't talked to since we were 5 comes back into our lives, you know?
Unbelievable. I mean, you got
Yeah,
and it's
so
draft night, so I'm sure you can't, you've only got
yeah,
so much time. You're trying to do so many things. It's not like
exactly, I'm trying to lock in and focus, so I
yeah.
tried to just move it to the back, and then Randy's not on the Zoom, he's just drafting, so he has no idea that he's actually drafting against the commish who is co-managing THG's team, which happens to
Wow.
be really good now. No coincidence there. So more to
Golly.
come on this situation, but and there's
Well,
rumors that the commish has gone country. So more to come. More to
man,
come.
oh
But yeah,
man.
I was reeling. I was equal parts thrilled and relieved and confused and angry for the lost time, and I have so many things to ask him about.
This is like, maybe, did you ever think maybe it was a tactic by THG to just throw you guys off? It's almost like didn't,
No,
who did, Trump bring to the debate and put in the front row? It was like Obama's half brother or something. Could have been like, could have been like one of those situations.
maybe. I don't know, I wouldn't give THG that much credit though.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I've as someone who's met the commish, loves the commish, I hope you guys can reconcile, and I hope he's a willing participant in getting the band back
Yeah.
together.
Maybe perhaps we'll get him back here on the trap draw at some point. So, did you try any of those wines I sent over?
I did.
Very good. Yeah.
I did. Justine was an interested listener to our last chop session. I think she took, our guy Matt Raymer spun up a little social graphic of the movies I recommended, which by the way, I need to add, I might need to make a shift on there.
Okay.
Because I think after this whole commish thing, you should really watch The Banshees of Inisherin, which is
Okay.
basically about a friend just firing another friend.
I watched the
And
trailer for
whatever.
that.
It's
That
awesome.
looked really good.
So good,
Yeah.
so good. I think it would hit home.
Actually, I watched the trailer for that. I almost watched that on a flight.
You should watch it.
Uh,
It's great.
okay.
I think you'd love it. But yes, Justine took that list to just the local wine shop and was just like, "Hey, here we go. What do you got?" And honestly, TC, I've been taking pictures. All the names are so complicated. I don't know where anything is, but it's been nothing but bangers. I've loved them all. So I wish I had something more complex.
So you had the Jacquelina,
The
which is the
Jacquelina we
one
got.
from
God,
the Basque country.
the one we got the other day was
Did you get the Rubenta? Was it the Rubentus Jacquelina or was it a different one? It's almost for
that was the
those
one
listening.
that was the one you
Yeah.
recommended. The same
Yes.
one we had like that kind of effervescent rosé when you were here.
Yes.
It was like the
Okay. Yeah.
same producers that.
Same producer. Yeah, the Rubentus then.
Yeah, so I also had what did I have? the Albarino,
Okay.
which was spectacular. I mean, it's been like just this was the exact point of the list. The weather has just been a joke. I mean, it has been like sit out on the front porch and
Mid
enjoy.
70s, high
Yeah, just
70s.
enjoy a crispy, crispy glass of white wine.
Albarino and the Gruner Veltliner are, like, some of the best food wines, I think, out there. If
Yeah,
you have a good Thai dish or, some Middle Eastern food or something like that, it cuts right through all that good
it's
spice.
exactly what we did. We had a little couscous salad the other day with that. I mean, it was spectacular. So the list is producing. It's I think
Okay.
it's finding a home, and I greatly appreciate it. We'll have to work on a red wine list, as the weather
Yeah.
as the weather
We'll
turns.
get some fall reds, and then and then as you get into the depths of winter, we can do some deeper stuff, but I drank a really good, Pinot the other night for Johann, uh, is the producer out in Oregon, kinda Dundee area, but yeah, very good, and then I made this, it was recipe in the New York Times Cooking the other day, which shout out to the New York Times Cooking,
Oh,
one of
rule.
my favorite newsletters. I like it more when others step in. Sam Sifton can get a little too uppity for me at times, but they had this tomato tartare over steak
Whoa,
recipe the other night, which it was a very simple recipe with, capers and Worcestershire
capers
Worcester,
are
whatever. Yeah, I
underrated.
love capers. Just it had so much depth to it. You marinate the tomatoes for a little bit. It's awesome. Just cook that with a little strip steak.
Phew, that sounds
Yeah,
hard to
like,
beat.
it's I love tomatoes, tomato season.
Oh, I was gonna ask, have you been living a fulfilling tomato season here?
I found I went to a good farmer's market a couple weeks ago. They had some good heirloom stuff at Whole Foods the other day when I was in there. I think the key right now is everything that I get is not ripe enough, so I just gotta let it sit.
Hmm,
I gotta buy it
patience.
and get ahead of it. I gotta be proactive, get it, and then let it sit for 2, 3, 4 days
It's
to ripen up.
like investing. Gotta
Exactly.
be thinking ahead.
Exactly. Yeah.
What did you think of
Um,
this? Solly came at you with this, soup
yeah.
tracker. This guy that was, like,
This
putting
morning.
putting you in a body bag as far as his soup, not only the breadth and depth of his consumption, but I would say the tracking and the accounting that he was doing on the back end.
Yeah, this is Boy Yeats World on X, the Everything app. Soup Watch 2025 update. I've eaten 27 different soups on 114 occasions so far this year. Definitely slowed down the pace for the summer, but I'm expecting a big comeback this fall. Honestly, I don't think I'm far off of this. I've probably eaten more
It's
than 27 different types of soup this year. I had 5 or 6 alone on that
yeah.
Monterey trip we were on. We're going to soup country this weekend. We're going back out to Pacific Grove, Monterey,
It'd
Carmel.
be like George Webb situation. I need to let them know you're coming. They don't just have all these, like, on hand, They gotta do some prep
Uh,
work on their end.
I think 114 occasion I eat a lot of ramen. I love ramen.
Yeah.
Ramen's one of my favorite things in the world, but, I think it's more of a tracking thing.
I think
I
that's what
might
it
have to
is.
go
I
nuclear.
think when you're not showing your work, yeah, start a tracker. Tron Soup Tracker at Tron's Army.
Yeah, but I thought that was very unfair of Saleh, just assuming that I'm not eating all of these soups, and
Well,
the problem here in Jacksonville, I don't
perception
have a
is
great
reality, though, if you're not
yeah.
documenting this stuff, then, how's he supposed to know?
Part of the issue here is I don't have a great soup go-to. Like, there was a really good, there's a place in Atlanta called Super Jenny I used to beat up. I would go there probably 2 or 3 times a week,
Sure.
and, they would have 6 or 7 special soups every day. There's great soup spots in Boston, and had some good a lot of chowder, a lot of,
Yeah, now that you say
boy
that,
bouillabaisse, all that kinda
I don't even know
thing when we were up in Maine.
where you'd go in Jacksonville. That is it's a tough one.
Yeah. Gotta just other than Whole Foods or
Yeah, I was gonna
making
say it's
my
kind
own
of
stuff or
grocery
yeah,
store hot bar type of situation.
yeah. It's more just when I'm traveling. I had a ton of soup in Baltimore a few weeks ago. Had a bunch of she crab soup and uh, corn corn chowders are very underrated as well.
Of course, that's a big one.
So,
Did the,
yeah.
let me ask you, speaking of Baltimore, did the Caesar break contain? Because I started seeing the Caesar posts from many other people in my feed. did you feel any kind of was that an Oppenheimer, like, "I can't believe I let this get out of the bag." Was there any or did it continue to live up to what you're talking
No,
this
it got
these are
even better.
at the Pendry Hotel, I believe.
Yeah, our friend Drew Pond, our friend Joey D, those guys showed up. They
Not the
also
workout
had
guy, different Joey D.
they tried it. They said it definitely lived up to the billing, which was t a relief. I had 6 or 7 of them. We were at the hotel for 7 nights. I think I had 1 every day. I had 2 for lunch. Like, I finished 1, and then I was like, "Hey, this is crazy. Can I just order another Caesar?" She said, "Yeah, it's not as crazy as you think." They gave me the recipe,
Oh, wow.
which is I feel like the honor of my guy Max, the food and beverage, director of restaurants there at the Pendry.
That's a good, people have I don't know if anybody has heard us talk about this, but Randy and I have been seeking out this Asian Caesar that we had at the Bandit
Yes.
Trails Clubhouse like a decade ago, and
But they say, like, never
I know
existed.
they're trying to
It's like a
memory
it's
hole it.
chasing a
Yeah,
ghost.
it's such bullshit. But that's a good example of, like, maybe I should just start asking for the recipe,
Yeah.
because you never know when something like that's gonna go away.
This recipe's very complicated. There's a lot going on.
That's good. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
That means that
High barrier to entry.
yeah, exactly. That's kinda why you're paying them to do it for you, rather than doing it at home.
Yeah. No, other stuff I mean, Baltimore was great. Other stuff, had pit beef and fries, which is a big thing. Ate a bunch of oysters at Thames Street Oyster Bar. Had this really good,
You gotta
lasagna that
watch your brain function. Make sure you don't have any
yeah,
brain-eating amoebas from those
yeah.
oysters.
They had this lasagna at Cingale that it was no red sauce. It was like this veal stock. That was crazy good. Saw a lot of crabby hats, all caps, crabby. That was bad.
Yeah, that's not good.
Um,
What did you,
went
I don't know if you like to
went to the Rector show down in DC.
yeah.
That was fun. Met
Well,
Tony P.
that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if you've spoken about this publicly yet, but you did get to meet Tony P in DC, famous influencer, but you met a lot of influencers over the last couple of weeks. Any takeaways from that?
Well, Rector, texted him, said, "Hey, would love to come to the show." Went to the show. Great venue. The Anthem in DC down on the waterfront. Some of the best acoustics I've ever heard. Ben put on an awesome show. We went backstage.
Isn't it funny to
Had
see
a
people like that, by the way, that like, from golf, and then
yeah,
you see it and you're like, "Oh, wait, you're like a rock star." Like, "Holy
yeah,
smokes.
truly.
That's
Yeah,
crazy, man. I had no idea. Look, all these people are here to see you. That's nuts. Good for
he's
you,
such a
man."
pro
I know.
too.
It's really
Such a
fun to watch.
almost more like a theatrical production
Totally.
than hey, we're just gonna ship it kind
Yeah.
of concert. But yeah, had a really nice bottle of white burgundy with him and Tony P backstage afterward. Tony P, man, he's interesting. He's interesting. He's a lot, it's definitely not a bit.
Yeah.
That's who he is. Very earnest, extremely earnest. Yeah, very much he was telling us about some of his new formats he's trying out and very, very much a craftsman
Sure.
trying to figure out, what's next. I think he's kind of stuck between how do I make this a sustainable thing and his current persona on Instagram. So we'll see how that progresses, but need to get out and play some golf with him. He was telling us, he's got a nice move. He's working on his golf swing right now. He's working with Obama's swing coach, I
Really?
guess.
Sure.
Yeah. So, a lot going on there. And then DJ, I was gonna fly to Atlanta. Uh,
Yeah.
so I moved my flight. Moved my flight to Atlanta. It was on Southwest. We had an event out there. Great event on that Monday,
You
and
you
then
you were gonna fly in for the creator council meeting.
yeah. So I was initially gonna fly out Monday night after our event. Moved my flight to Tuesday morning, and instead of flying to Jax, just flew direct to Atlanta. Like, go to the airport. It's super early flight. It was like a 7:30, 8 o'clock flight, so had to get up at 6:30. Get there, check my golf clubs, all that. No biggie. Go through security. I'm not all that familiar with the Southwest app. I don't fly Southwest all that much. And I yeah, I timed it up perfectly. I just walked straight to the gate, whatever the gate said on the app, and get on the plane, board, have my headphones on the whole time, fall asleep, and I wake up and we're in Jacksonville.
Tough.
And I looked around,
Someone did something wrong.
looked around. It was the most disconcerting thing. Like, what the fuck? I thought I was flying to Atlanta. And so I looked out the window. Nope, that's clearly Jacksonville. And it was like it was that Home Alone. I'm like, excuse me, miss, like, what city is that over there? And I guess I changed the flight time, but I didn't change the destination. And I think the Atlanta and the Jax flights were exactly the same time.
How about that?
And I just didn't bother to check the destination on my boarding pass, or like the lady that checked my bags didn't say, "Where's your final destination today?" She just checked them because I was at the little,
Yeah, right.
kiosk. I checked in via the kiosk and all that.
Man,
So
it's I feel I have never done this necessarily, but I do feel the, like, you get to the airport and just like, muscle memory takes over. You know,
truly,
you kinda switch the
yeah,
brain off and you're listening to a podcast or music or whatever, and it just you kinda go through the motions. And, what a jarring, like,
yeah.
20 seconds that must have been. You should have had all the creators fly to Jacksonville. You should have said, "Guys, this Atlanta's not gonna work for me. If the rest of the creators could get down to Jax, that would be easiest."
Well, yeah. So I landed, took an Uber home. I just kind of went with it. I hopped on the creator. They had a Zoom call option on that. So I was like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna make it in person to this meeting or whatever. And then hopped on the meeting and I took a nap the rest of the day. I was like, all right, I just got to reset after this. So,
Oh, god, that's good
and
stuff.
I
Good.
think part of it, I was distracted in Baltimore at BWI by the bathrooms. Their
Oh, 'cause they're
bathrooms
so clean,
are,
right?
yeah, they won that Cintas award.
Yeah.
And they are. They're just so clean. I think the new bathrooms in Denver
Let's see
are
who
gonna
won this year's
overtake that
award.
though. And then went back up to Atlanta the following, that Sunday afterwards, flew up and back same day, which is always a thrill. I met Pookie and Jet, wasn't familiar with their game,
Yeah, I wasn't super
and
familiar either, but I kind of followed up
yeah.
after the fact. Seems like people are very into whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah, Smartin and Gabby Herzig and a few others were like, "Oh, did you meet Pookie and Jet?" I was like, "Who's that?" And then I realized, I was like, "Oh yeah, I was talking to them for 3 holes on the front 9 and I just bullshitting with them about the golf. Had no idea that they were this whole social media thing." And Alex, my wife, she's like, "Wait, you met Pookie and Jet?" And so went down that whole wormhole. They were delightful. I was standing next to 18 green in a trophy presentation, or after Tommy's finishing out, somebody threw a green dildo
Hmm.
on the green after things wrapped there. So just a very eventful. I was right next to Team Rose when he was doing his whole thing there. But it was really cool to be there for Tommy. It was why you watch sports.
That's yeah. I'm glad you could see that in person. I know how much seeing the Abu Dhabi win meant to
Yeah,
you, and now it's kind of a full circle. You know, you got both in the
truly.
repository. I was trying to do a
I
little
took some.
research on this
Yeah.
Cintas bathroom award. I just found the finalists for 2024. I don't know if I totally know who actually won the
Maybe
award,
they haven't
but
announced it yet. Maybe
uh
it's in arrears,
and
maybe.
also, I mean, I think this is, like, the most impressive thing is that it's not just airports, I don't believe. I mean, it's just,
Mhm.
like, all bathrooms.
Sport, like, venues.
Yeah, it's like I mean, it's restaurants, zoos, Indiana Caverns, Lambeau Field here in Wisconsin.
I might
Uh,
have to go validate that.
yeah, so just I don't know, there could be would love to check some of these out. Maybe, it'd be kinda good to keep that list in your phone somewhere, TC. If you could maybe get maybe get an app to ping you like you're near one of the finalists
Yeah,
for best bathrooms.
Geo.
That's the kinda AI I'm looking to leverage.
Amen. I took some barrel fire. Actually, let's thank FanDuel real quick. Trap Draw is brought to you by FanDuel. Football fans, the wait is over. The NFL is back. I'm excited. DH tomorrow night, Thursday night. We got what is it? Cowboys, Eagles. My Eagles
Yeah,
and those Cowboys, those
waiting all
boys.
day for Thursday night.
Yeah. Best place to kick off the season is on FanDuel. Every game, day during week one. FanDuel is giving all customers a no sweat NFL bet from money line to player props to same game parlays. Your no sweat bet can be used on any NFL wager type. And if it doesn't win, you'll get bonus bets back. Very, very keen on this Ravens Bills game. That's going to be an interesting one. Jags have a kind of a patty cake Panthers game here. I think I'm looking for Los Jags to come out firing this this season.
I hope
So
so. I saw your guy
they got a
Pac-Man.
tough run of it.
Pac-Man was
Yeah,
absolutely coming at Trevor Lawrence the other day.
I know. I know.
Shout
Well,
out.
yeah, Trevor's my wife hates Trevor too.
Really?
I'm pro Trevor, but we can get into that. So this season, make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit fanduel.com/NLU to kick off the NFL season with a no sweat bet every game day during week one. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21, present in select states, 18 or over and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable. Bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Deej, you been following any of the U.S. Open?
Not at all. Not at all. I love the idea of tennis, and it just every time we get to a major, it just kind of reflects how little I actually follow through on watching it. But
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get into maybe the finales. Like I
Yeah.
do. I love again. I love the idea. I love this time of year when you get some of these matches going really late into the night, and like it's always electric. I haven't made time to watch it. That's on me.
Okay.
What's been sticking out
Uh,
to you?
I got really into it last night. The Djokovic Fritz match. Took a lot of listen, I hucked a few takes out there on
Sure.
Actually Everything app. I'm not a big Fritz guy. He plays a dispassionate, weird brand of tennis that feels quite un-American to me. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're such a contrarian." I'm like, I just don't like watching this guy play tennis. And in every big moment, he just buries one in the net, or like he
Potential
broke
Pablo, you're saying.
Djokovic in this. Yeah, he broke Djokovic in the second set. Big moment, like had it kind of right within his grasp. And then like double faulted the next 2 points. He double faulted on match point, and it just kind of tells you who he is. Lost in 4 sets. And people were all over me for that. So the Polish thief, did you see that?
No, I
The guy
missed
that
it.
stole the hat from the kid?
Oh, yes, 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 sorry. I thought that was like a nickname for a player or something. No, I'm very familiar with this. I did see this did
Yeah,
come across my desk. Bad stuff. Really, like,
bad stuff.
kinda similar to the shopping cart situation. Like, what y it's
Yeah,
just, ugh, gross,
yeah,
grimy, hate it.
yeah. I think, Medvedev had a meltdown earlier on in the tournament, which was I think the McEnroe meltdowns were always endearing, and this one was not endearing. It was just like, "No, you look like a spoiled brat, and you just keep breaking your rackets." He's just
That's quite a fine line. You don't
like
wanna find yourself
churlish.
on the wrong
Yeah,
side of. That's for sure.
yeah. But no, I think it's been awesome. The TV product is so good. I think there's so much for PGA Tour to glean from how ESPN covers the majors.
I feel like, as someone who is predisposed to liking tennis, I feel like the entire thing would hinge on me going and seeing it in person. You know, I think if
Yeah,
I went to one of these, I think I'd be hooked for life, and that just hasn't happened yet. So it's on my list. I would love to do it. Haven't gotten there yet.
that would be a really fun thing of like, let's go
I
to
know.
Wimbledon or the French Open or even the US Open and then just like do a trap draw afterwards of like, here's everything that, we saw
Yeah,
kind of thing. So, Deej, we can talk a little El Crew. My Marlins are so frisky.
I know.
It's that guy Jacob Marcy, and you've got Ed Cabrera, and uh, obviously Yuri's been kind of up and down, but they got pieces, man.
They do. They're
I'm
fun.
in.
They've been taking it to, they took it to the Crew for sure during, that kind of post All-Star break, but yeah, they're a little spooky to go down there and play. I hope Miami gets behind them a little bit because it is a fun team, and, I think it's worth watching. You mentioned the Brewers are at the end of, 19 games in 18 days. stretch. So yesterday was a rare day off in the middle of a series. You don't see that a lot. 3 games in 4 days against the Fighting Phils. So yeah, much needed. TC needed the bullpen needed a break. Got some injuries, but they still remain in Solly and Randy's ass, which is all you can
Yeah,
ask
Andrew Vaughn,
this
the
time of
great
year.
man Bryce Terang.
Yeah, Vaughn slowed down a little bit, but we're not gonna we're not gonna be too concerned about that. What do you think about this
Uh,
realignment stuff? You've been following any of this?
I love realignment, expansion. Doesn't matter the sport. I'm way in on just new markets. If you had to power rank the markets you think should get
Mm.
team,
Should
because
get
it's what?
should get or
It's
will
Orlando, Nashville, Charlotte,
Salt Lake,
Raleigh in the East, and
Portland.
then you've got
Yeah.
Austin, Portland, Salt Lake in the West,
Yeah,
right?
it sounds like Salt Lake and Nashville are the
The
clear kind of
shoo-ins.
front runners, which I would understand. I think both of those make sense. Portland would be fun. For like, I don't know, Charlotte. I don't want to. We don't need to relitigate that whole situation, but that wouldn't be nearly top of my list. I don't think. I don't know.
Ollie's got the money.
Yeah,
Dundon said he wants one. So,
yeah. It's a hard one, man. I like I think fence sitter here, but I think a lot of these are okay. Like they're the size market that I enjoy following, right? Like I don't need another
yeah.
big massive market team. Like I think another so that in that case you want to pick the city that is going to get behind it and going to actually
Mhm.
embrace it rather than just like turn it into kind of a tourist attraction or something like that. But that's where it kind of comes back to like, man, do we need 2 more teams or should we maybe move some of these teams that don't have a following that are kind of just
Like the Cardinals, for
cuddling?
perhaps?
The Cardinals would be a good example. Maybe move them to Salt Lake. Yeah,
Best fans in baseball are showing
that's an
up.
interesting
They're
idea. Yeah, less than 20,000 people at these games. I mean, it's
very sad.
miserable, miserable stuff. I know you put it on here, but I loved the John Smoltz, first half winner gets a punches a ticket to the playoffs, second half winner, bunch of wild cards. If you haven't seen the John Smoltz, playoff idea post realignment, I would go check that out.
It's sick. Rays prospect Bob Seymour, first Bob in MLB in 15 years, which I think
Lots of
I'll put an
Robert, lots
asterisk
of
on that
Rob.
because I think our guy Bob Gasser.
Yeah, the gas man. God, I hope he makes the playoff roster, TC. People go look up some of, Robert Gasser's numbers from last
Speaking of
year.
the playoff roster, are you gonna miss the playoffs in our fantasy league?
We'll see. It's not
You're the
great.
odd man out right
I am
now,
the odd
right?
man out right now, and I had a tough finish to the schedule here, playing a resurgent Solly, and, I'm playing Neil's private equity managed team this week, where he brought in
You got the Beebs though,
Neil hasn't been to the field in, months. He's got his
absentee
He's got
owner.
his goon Jerry Bell managing his team, just putting me in a body bag right now. So, uh, I might be the odd man out. We'll see. It
Okay,
hasn't been the year that we would have wanted. A lot of injuries, and I didn't react properly.
yeah,
So we'll see.
okay. Football wise, we can talk Jera on a future pod. We'll try to get Ballno or Bob
Yeah,
on for our next kind of fourth chair guy. Ken Pickett signed with Los Raiders after he got cut by the Browns. He's going to back up Gino because AOC's hurt. But tough look for our guy Ryan Burr, who insisted he was a generational talent.
that's such a deep cut.
Ralphie, the Buffalo
Yeah,
out in Boulder, he had to retire due to a complete indifference to running.
that's a big kind of element of his gig.
Just lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, I don't know. Hopefully, he gets to live out his days. I hope that
yeah.
I hope they make him comfortable.
And then, the UNC debacle the other night, we'll get into that on a future ball knowers. The Oregon Ducks head fell off,
Yeah.
which was pretty
That's why
crazy.
these mascot rules gotta be buttoned up, man. That's what when we
Yeah.
did the sausage race, it was like, dude, we got a lot of rules around how these mascots are presented
Can't
because
scare these
you
kids.
cannot freak kids out.
Yeah. And then lastly, I just wanted to ask, what's the scene up in Milwaukee as far as college football stuff? Is it a mix of the mediocre ass mid Wisconsin Badgers that Luke Fickle's running into the ground, or Notre Dame people, or
It's a lot of Los Badgers fans for sure. That's the big time driver, I would say,
uh,
of fanhood around here. I think up in my neck of the woods here in the fashionable East Side, there's quite a few Notre Dame grads that
okay.
get into it. Actually, the kid who's kicking for Notre Dame now, I think he's maybe a kicker slash punter. I don't know if I don't know
Okay.
what his situation is, or maybe he's the next kicker punter. I don't. Anyways, grew up across the street from my house, so
Wow.
but, watch this space.
There you have it.
Good for him.
Well, this was fun. This was far ranging,
Always.
dynamic,
Yeah, I think
and
we covered a lot of ground, which is always the goal.
shout out to Cintas. Need
Yeah.
to get deeper in that restrooms list.
Yeah, and if anybody knows the 2024 winner, if that's been announced, may hit us up.
Cool. Cool. Must be 21 or older and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus, present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777, or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org, or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY, or text HOPE-NY in New York. We will see you next time on the Trap Draw.